Right, morning all. This is part 3 of our virtual flower show weekend. We're doing our segment a bit early today to see if we can't get it downloaded in time. So today, the title of this talk is That Sinking Feeling, because we're planting up a Belfast sink. We're planting it full of hardy carnivorous plants and it'll be left outside all year. So we've got a selection of Sarracenias, some of our own, a beautiful hybrid, Tygo again, a Venus flytrap, one of our own, native carnivorous plants, native sundew, English sundew, because we're in England, and Pinguicula grandiflora, which is a native butterwort. We've also got hardy sundews, such as Drosera binata and Drosera dichotoma. So, here we go, let's get it planted. We've also got some materials, some grit, driftwood and some nice decorative stones, and as you can see the dog's still sparkle on his bed. Hey Billy, what's cooking lad? Right, first one we're going to plant is one we've nicknamed Wax White Mix. You can see it's a beautiful leucophylla cross, gorgeous plant. Popping her in first, loads of new shoots coming on this. This one's going to give us some real nice white colour as it develops. So that's the first one. Second one is the Venus flytrap, full of flowers as you can see. A lot of people say, oh, if you let them flower it'll kill them. Only if you get them from B&Q and home base, I can assure you. We let ours flower to collect seeds obviously, and it doesn't do them any harm providing they're a good healthy plant to start with. Often the ones you get from the stores are weakened plants due to the fact everyone's poked them already, and they've been grown in the dark and given tap water and all the stuff you shouldn't do really. So that's the Venus flytrap in. Next up, a hardy sundew, dichotoma, quite a vigorous one, so it'll do well here. Make a little hole for that one. I've got my spoon ready as well for the little ones. So there she goes. Pop her in, try not to get soil all over the dew obviously, because that's its trapping mechanism. You can see it glistening in the sun. So that's that one firmed in. This is one of our own hybrids. Stays quite low, beautiful dark purple colour. OH183. So, make a little hole for that one. As I say, this one grows low, so we've tried to do a variation in height. So you've got all different heights and colours and that kind of thing. Pop her in. Looking good already. Now, centrepiece, or we've gone for a tall one in the middle. We were talking about this plant yesterday, Sarracenia Tygo. It's one we've grown outside for years. Does really well, nice and vigorous, nice and colourful. One of the first to emerge each year. We'll pop Tygo in the middle to give us a little bit of height. These are all weatherproof as well, so don't need to worry too much with particularly Sarracenias and obviously our native plants. Here's a few native butterworts. They're going on the corner here. We'll just leave them out. They love to be outdoors in the winter. They bulk up even more when you leave them outside and they get a bit of cold to them. Some people have said, oh, should I bring them in the winter? If you imagine these are growing up in the north of Scotland, they're not going to be too fussed about our mild winters. So pop the little butterworts in. They should be flowering soon. Beautiful purple, bluey flowers. Again, try not to get compost on the sticky bits. They'll be ready for a midge or a mozzie. Whatever else has the misfortune of landing on them. So next up, the binata. This is quite a vigorous sundew, fork-leaved sundew. A good doer, as they say. Dies down in the winter, comes back again in the spring. We've got a nice little spot in the corner for her. There's a couple of seedlings in here as well, Sarracenia seedlings. We'll see what happens to them. They have been out all winter already, so that's binata in the corner. Next up, the English sundew. Look at that, glistening in the sun. Cracking little sundew. Make a little hole ready for her, or him. There we go, pop her in. I'll leave this one to flower as well, it might spread a few seeds around and we should have a little colony of English sundews growing here with a bit of luck. So, and the final plant we're going to do before we get to the decorative bit is one of our Sarracenia flavas, another seed-grown variety, in flower as you can see. Beautiful plant this. Gives us a nice golden colour as well. Flavas are early to wake up, they're one of the first to emerge. So pop her in. It's got a decent root system on it, that one, so it's ready for popping in. There we go, look. Right, now we'll get down to the decorative bit. Get all artistic and what have you. Yeah, Billy, we like a bit of that. Right, so today we're using, instead of using moss to top dress, we're actually going to use Cornish grit. Reason for this is moss this time of year, particularly sphagnum moss, we have some blackbirds around here who are quite keen on nicking it for the nests, and in the process they end up making a right mess of all the plants, and they sometimes pull them out, as certain growers will have experienced, no doubt. So filling it up with grit, just to birds don't seem to be bothered about using grit for the nests. There we go. This stuff comes from the clay pits of Cornwall, I've been informed, and is slightly acidic, so the carnivorous plants don't mind it at all. It also, as I say, as we yesterday with the pot of horrors, keeps the moisture in. So sprinkle your grit on. Careful not to get it all over the plants, obviously. So this will give them a bit of protection, as in keeping them nice and moist, which is what they like. The sink has got a drainage hole at the bottom, and it is filled with our traditional mix of compost. As I said yesterday, we also have peat-free mixes if you don't like using peat and perlite, which is the traditional mix. We also have peat-free alternatives. We've been quite successful with it, particularly outdoors. So we're getting to the business end of it now. A couple more scoops of this. It's a bit fiddly this, but worth doing. Make it look nice as well, nice and decorative. Obviously the beauty of doing them in a larger container is you're not having to water all the time. We'll probably water this once every now and then. Give it a good drink now, and then just keep an eye on it. If it doesn't rain for a week or two, we'll give it another good drink. It'll hold a lot of moisture in this sink. As I say, careful not to get it all over the plants. Right, now we get even more decorative. We had some beautiful driftwood. Billy's been chewing on that one, so he's giving it a nice weathered look. Swallowed a sweet corn yesterday, didn't he, a naughty boy? Right, so there's strategically put your driftwood in. Look at that. That's been at displays before, this driftwood. Now the dog's mauled it, looks even better. Here's some nice fossilised stones as well, look. Just to add to the look. So pop them in. And there you go. Ta-da! Wax wicked sink. So as I say, we'll give this a good watering with a rose can, just to get it nice and soaking, and there you have it, mini bog garden, good to go.